Geno, just a few about Sarah. What were you kind of laughing at up there or throughout the press conference?
I just said your mom's going to be really mad at me if I can't get you to speak into the microphone. So the next question. And then she said, that was better, wasn't it? So, yeah, it's great to be young.
You've talked about wanting Sarah to play, like she knows she can be an All-American, like she has to be aggressive. Have you seen her take steps in that direction, especially tonight with, career high night?
I think most kids, I shouldn't say every kid, I think most kids when they go to college, at least when they come to UConn anyway, it's not something that's imposed on them by the coaches. We just get these kind of kids. And it's good and bad, don't get me wrong. I think they see the program, the success of the program, and who we are, what we've done, and they feel like I have to earn my time. I have to earn my right to do this and this. And no matter what I say to some of the freshmen, that I don't want you to act like one, I want you to be yourself, and it's going to take time for them, some of them. And some of them it takes a long time, and some of them it happens right away. So I don't know how many games we played so far. How many games have we played? Anybody know? How many, 11? We played 11? So I would say if you look back to game 1 and 2 and 3, maybe, to today, there's more of comfort level with whatever I do. I'm just going to do it because that's what I think I should do right now. Now, when you ask that question about time on the clock and whether she understood, like, should I shoot it, time on the clock, drive it, she had no idea how much time was on the clock. I just think she plays instinctively, plays with whatever the game gives her. I don't think she tries to force something to happen that isn't there. Now, I'm not saying she's perfect, and I'm not saying she doesn't, do things that, she's going to want to improve on. But, 11 games in, I had said recently, that she had just scratched the surface of what she can do. And as more players on our team become even more comfortable with her, because a lot of times I think we're not quite sure sometimes where she is. So I think as the season goes on, I just have a lot of confidence in her ability. And I have a lot of confidence in her judgment, which is probably more important.
Geno, when you have a game like that and the ball's just going in, how much does that, there's always so much weight and expectation around here. When you have a game like that, it just looks like it's fun for everybody who's out there. What does that do in terms, and how does that carry over, just that looseness and that confidence?
Well, first of all, I didn't expect, based on the last couple days in practice, I know we played Georgetown on Sunday, so we didn't have a lot, but I think leading up to the Georgetown game and the last couple days, I really didn't expect this. I thought we would have a difficult time. And I said, we need to win the three-point battle by quite a few, because they make 9 a game. So there was a good chance that I thought they would get 15, 17 tonight. So we made a decision that we were going to, try to work really, really hard to limit their threes. And when when the basket looks big early on, the basket just gets bigger as the game goes on. And for some players, they make their first 2 or 3, they think they can make the next 23. I think Iowa State is really hard to play against, believe it or not, notwithstanding tonight. You know, the way they defend a certain way that makes it like you really got to work to get open, and then you got to work really hard defensively. So tonight was totally unexpected in what the final score was. But there's been a lot of challenges for our team since we got back from the Bahamas. You know, it seems like every game we've played has been out of a hotel or on a road trip, you know, and during exams. So there's a lot going on. So I'm really impressed, and I'm really proud of our team because of the fact that they could just play through all that. And to play well these next 2 games coming off of, you know, the Notre Dame game where obviously it was a bitter disappointment. To be able to, for a young team to shake that off and move on. It's interesting. Sarah made a good point. You know, she was asked about playing here, and she said something to the effect that, you know, playing here and the tradition and how good they've been and being part of that. I think sometimes that scares some kids. They start to question whether they can, and yet at the same time, it motivates some kids to actually go, yeah, that's why I came here, because I can do this. And I'm going to be one of those people that people talk about that was a great player at UConn. So you're never quite sure what you're getting. But I thought we knew what we were getting when we got Sarah. But I mean, we only 3 players, you know. It seems like only 3 players scored, but I thought it was a great game by our team. It was a great game by our team.
Geno, you got a great start there by Ashlyn. I mean, she had 20 in the first quarter, hit all 7 shots, 6 threes. That, as you said, kind of opened up things. How big is it to have her get going offensively, knowing you're missing Easy, but you get her back soon, and take some pressure off Paige and Sarah that there's a third scoring option right now, and then the fact you hit 23s without Easy, who's probably the best three-point shooter you have right now. What does that say about this team's shooting ability?
Well, you can take that as Azie's not playing, so if you're Ash, okay, now there's more of an emphasis on I got to make mine. Not only do I got to make mine, but I also got to make some of hers. And it puts a lot of pressure on Paige. I got to make mine and make some of Azie's. And again, it can work the opposite way. But again, if you're a confident kid and you feel like this is why I'm here. I was built for this, and I just need an opportunity. I just need to be open, and I'll do the rest. You know, I think we're going to need 3 legitimate big-time scorers the entire season. Where they come from, it really doesn't matter to me. But, you know, hopefully we'll have at least 4 maybe when AZ gets back. You know, That's ideal, obviously.
You mentioned what a difficult stretch this has been for your group. You're going into another challenging one this weekend. Just what do you think like you can learn about your team through a series of games like this?
We said, after our first couple of games, when people would ask me what I think of my team, I said I'll let you know at Christmas time, because I felt like this December stretch was really going to be telling in a great way, telling in a good way, or telling in a lousy way. And I think for the most part, this team is resilient. We're able to come back. Even in the Notre Dame game, we got it to 2 with a minute left in the third quarter, and we couldn't sustain that. But it could have been very easily a 20-point game, on the road. Those kids had never played in that building ever before, none of them that played in that game, So the fact that we can bounce back like that and then play really well these next 2 games, it shows that we're learning, we're getting a little bit better, we're getting a little tougher, we're believing in each other a little bit more. Ice played great tonight. She's not going to get a lot of, box score stuff, but I thought she had a great game. Great game. We just need everybody to contribute in their own way, and that's what we're getting. And Saturday night, Saturday night's going to be a whole different kind of matchup than this one. So it's another big test. And what I said was, the more times we get tested, the better we're going to be, because we're either going to pass those tests and we're going to be a lot better, we're going to fail some of those tests and we're going to learn from them, but the key is you got to be tested, and that's what we're doing right now. And I like how we're going about it so far.
We've seen how high the ceiling can be for Ash, obviously. What do you feel like is the key for her to finding that level with some more consistency going forward?
Ash was a really, really, really confident high school player who thought she could make any shot, anytime. And the thing that, little by little, I'm hoping is that she remembers that and focuses on that and doesn't check with me every time to see if what I just did was okay. And I think that's another aspect of, these are kids that come to school and they, without any work on my own, they feel like they need my approval. Not all of them do. Some, I'm looking for their approval, some of these guys. But Ash is one of those that wants to please and wants your approval. And I think once she starts to understand, she just needs her approval.